I whisper into this, are you gonna hear it like it's not a whisper?
Ow! I just shocked myself.
Ooh.
No, I'll hear it like a whisper. Like it's just the same stuff.
Wiener. Did you hear that?
I heard Wiener.
Did you hear it, Andrew?
He can't hear it, but I hear it because it goes directly into my mic.
Wiener. That's hilarious.
Wiener. It is funny. I don't know. Is Wiener? If you say that in other languages, does Wiener always mean penis?
No, it's a Jewish last name.
Wiener?
Yes. Yeah, they're like definitely people with the last name Wiener.
I know whiners.
Wiener. Those people are lying to you. It's a wiener. I remember I was young. Are we starting or?
Oh yeah, we can just roll into it. I don't know if you want to start with the wiener.
Yeah,
part.
That's probably true. That's true.
But I'm down for it.
We can talk about something else to start, but
no.
When I was younger, and I gotta stop moving, right?
No, you could stay still. You can move. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, one time I was at like some temple for some shit, and like they called up like this person like Andrew Wiener, and I was like, Dad, and he was like, that's his last name, and I was like,
I went to a retreat thing, like a forum thing, and this guy's last name was like Space Laser.
That's sick.
It was actually really cool. It was a really Jewish guy.
Space Laser?
Yeah, it was like Space Laser. I'm like, dude, what?
It's
it was like
John Deathbeam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Jacob Space Laser. I'm like, he had like the Jewish hat and like the Jewish curls too. I'm like,
oh, he was like super.
He
Jewish.
was like super Jew, and his last name was Space Laser.
Space Laser. Was it like Space Laser?
I think it was like lesser.
Space Laser.
But it was like Space Laser.
Space Laser.
It was literally spelled L-A. It was an S, or it wasn't laser. But it sounded like it.
That's dope.
Yeah, I don't know where like last names come from. I know in Latin, didn't we learn, like Dr. Gregory was telling us about how your name would reflect what like job you did or like what you were?
Yeah. I think it's changed for like different cultures. I know like some people have that, and then some people like your last name is based off of like your father's first name.
Really?
Yeah, so like I don't know, it's something like that. I know, like, not to keep talking about Jewish shit, but like I
like the Jewish shit.
Yeah, I like to talk about it too.
Yeah.
Because it's just funny.
It's
like,
interesting.
It's fucking Jewish shit, yeah.
Yeah.
But like my name, it's like your name is like something, and then like the end of your name is like son of your dad's first name. So I don't know what mine is, but it's something like that.
Son of Dr. Cohen.
Yeah, son of Doc.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think.
Like Smith, like blacksmith, or like
Blacksmith, and then there's
Hooker.
Hooker, yes.
It's a real last name, isn't it?
Is it?
I think it is.
Yeah, and they were just all prostitutes in the past.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think the last names, like there'd be like I don't know, Latin ones. Let's look it up.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like my brain doesn't function like it usually does. Pisses me off.
Yeah, it's probably just the stress of shit going on right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on. Do you think we're gonna go in World War
I
III?
don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I think you could argue that World War III already sort of started. I think the nature of war has changed a lot from the last like major wars.
Yeah.
With all the new technology and stuff, like I think you're at war before you even realize it. You know.
Yeah.
I guess
before you declare it.
Yeah.
I always thought that was silly.
Yeah.
It's like we sunk your battleship. Well, we're not going to declare war yet, though.
Yeah.
We're killing all your people, but not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
We're not declaring it yet.
One more thing, and then we'll have to declare war.
Then we'll declare war. Yeah. But it is different. Like, we're not fighting with swords and axes on the battlefield with shields and knight armor anymore. Like, I feel like it made sense back then, because, like, how else would you fight?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, now, I don't get why you would fight. Like, what does that really solve by killing all these people?
Yeah. I've wondered that too. Like, I think it's sort of human nature. I guess I don't know. That's sort of pessimistic, but like humans kill each other. It's sort of what we do. So like when you have a conflict with other people, like you really hate them. It's just what like people do. You know, like I think. So I think it's sort of natural, right? Like I I used to think that too. I remember one time when I was younger, I asked my dad, I was like, why don't they just do like a chess match or something?
Yeah.
He was like, because people like cheat, you know, like people cheat, and if you lose, people don't have like a lot of, maybe that's not respect, but like if you beat someone in a chess match, like they can just start a new chess match, you know, but if they're dead,
you can't really start a new chess match.
Yeah, then it's game over. Yeah.
I feel like that's such a silly way to solve disputes. Like it reminds me of like trial by combat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, we disagree on how much land you should have. Let's see who can kill the other person.
Ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie. That's so stupid. I don't feel like that solves anything.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm just gonna kill you, so I'm right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like you're eliminating the possibility of them being right.
Yeah.
You know,
I am destroying your opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
It is gone.
Yeah, wow. It's funny how that's how we used to destroy people's opinions, but now it's a lot different. You don't need to kill someone to destroy them, really, which is better.
Yeah. Now you could just, what's it called? Defamation?
Yeah.
Just defame them.
Yeah.
And then no one will listen to them.
Yeah, I mean, as long as no one's taking them seriously, it's not it's usually probably not a problem, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we see that too much.
Yeah, we do. For sure.
There's that lady. I forgot what she was trying to say. It was something about the COVID stuff at the beginning, how it was like made in a lab, and she was like calling out all these like big wigs, saying like, look, they're putting out their medicine so they can make money, and like, because remember they banned a certain medicine that was helping, and they're like, you have to use this one medicine. And, like, that one medicine was owned by, like, the people who were putting it in place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
Can you look that up?
I think it's, like, hydrochloroquine or something. Right?
Yeah, or some shit like that. And then was that it? Hydrochloroquine.
It's for fighting malaria.
Yeah, and it worked. And they're like, no, you can't use this. And she was, like, putting it out. And then they're like, this chick's crazy. Look at all this other stuff she's saying. Like, and they were literally just trying to make her uncredible so no one would listen to her and be like, she's crazy. Yeah,
it's definitely a war of information these days. I definitely agree with that. Sort of what they did to like Bob Lazar and stuff like that. If you can discount someone off of being like crazy or make them somehow invalidate what they have to say, then it's almost like you're killing them. Not physically, but mentally, you know, like you're taking away what they have to say. And some people, I guess, should be discredited because they don't have credit, but other people.
But do you think we should discredit them for that?
I don't know. I think you have to have a certain something about how you think about yourself. If you think that you have to be pretty sure of your opinions and of yourself to be able to put out into the world that someone else should shut up. You know, like I never felt comfortable in like conversations like telling someone they're wrong. You know, unless they're like 2 + 2 is 5 or something. But like. I like that's assuming that like people have it all figured out, you know, and like no one has it figured out. It's like why would you ask? Why would you want someone else to completely shut up?
Yeah, it's stupid. I like the whole thing that's why when people get so stuck to their opinions, like we talked about it like the other day about how our ideas need to be like the ship. I forgot which person put that forward. But
I think it was you.
No, it wasn't me. I got it from my class.
Oh.
But
that was a great metaphor. I've thought about that since we talked about that.
So basically, for people that don't know what it was we have to think of our, like at first our thoughts are not who we are. Then we can't be stuck with them, or stuck to them because they're not us. So we have to think of them like planks on a ship. Like each idea is a plank that makes up this ship, which is your coherent, like your thought process, like because obviously your thoughts work off of each other. So when one plank or one thought disagrees, like you take out the plank and then replace it, and if a cannonball comes that discounts all your shit, like it's gonna break a bunch of planks. So you're gonna have to. It's gonna take more time, but you're gonna have to rebuild that ship up. So we always have to be able to be okay with losing our thoughts, ideas.
I think that's definitely, I think it's very true in many different like layers of that, that symbolism. Like, I think, when you have a piece on your ship, and I think like pieces can be like, thoughts, like different thoughts or different understandings that you have of the world, truths that you think of. And when one doesn't really fit on, it creates drag, if you're trying to move forward in life, like we're all trying to do, and you have pieces that aren't doing anything but just pushing you back, just not allowing you to do what you want and go forward, then it's not worth it. It's not worth having that piece, even if it's hard to dislodge. And we were talking about sometimes you get like a cannonball, you get maybe, if your boat's made out of wood and you get a metal piece in there, it's gonna tip over and you're gonna need to rebuild it with all metal, and that's what evolving as a person is, sort of.
I like that metal thing. Yeah, it's nice. But it's true. People, I think that's where a lot of like trouble gets stuck in. People don't want to be wrong. So it's like, I'm right no matter what. Like, fuck you, I'm keeping my ship. Because it takes work to reevaluate yourself, to be wrong. Because then you have to like be like, oh shit, I've been thinking this my entire life. Like, now I have to change. And like, that's going to take time and effort. And like, that sucks. No one wants to do that. Dude, I've been sounding, oh fuck, way too loud. Hello? Okay, I think that's better.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, just that, because I sounded weird before. I feel like it wasn't picking it up as well as I wanted it to. But yeah, it takes, that's way better.
Yeah, that sounds good to me too.
Okay. But we were talking about people are so stuck to their thoughts and ideas.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, because our reality is really like, based off of the structure of our thoughts and how we're sort of all the information that you consume is like, you can think of your mind as like a maze or like a tunnel, and it's going to bounce off your thoughts and it's going to change by the time it's out. And if you can rearrange like the structure of your mind with certain thoughts, you can really change like perspective.
Because it's interesting. We do, like, the way we damn it, now it's too loud. Because the way we perceive like reality, like this anthropology class you put me onto, it's very interesting.
You're liking it?
Yeah,
I'm glad. I'm glad.
It's interesting because we evolved, like, everything, because everything's vibrations.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So everything we perceive is just a way of perceiving it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's not what it is, it's how we see it. Our eyes developed. Like, I just watched the video of how it was called The Monkey and Me, or I don't think that's not what it was called. It was I think I'm gonna call it fuck it. It was The Monkey and Me.
Monkey and Me, I'd watch that.
Yeah. But it was talking about how these primates evolved to had, what is it called, opids, for your sight, like in the back of your retina.
Okay.
Can you look that up? What is it called? The retina in the back of your, it's like the,
like cones and rays, or
it's like it's in your
part of your eye or something.
It's a protein. Opsid. So this opsid, like, primates have two opsid, which allows them to see certain colors.
Okay.
But not all of them, and we evolved to have 3, so we have a wider array of colors. And like that thing evolved so it could help us like see the riper fruit. Yeah. And so we could which is cool. So it helped us like survive. But like, to think that at a certain point we only had 2, so we couldn't see all the world. Like, what if we had fucking 4?
Yeah.
Like, what if we're missing out on so many colors?
The mantis shrimp can see ultraviolet and I don't know if it can see infrared, but I think it might be able to see both. That's
what
crazy.
What does that even look like? I don't even know.
I don't know either, because it's like along with everything that we can see as well. Yeah. It's almost like, you ever play like Call of Duty, like you got like the thermal scope or something. I think it's probably something like that. It's like they can see the vibrations of like heat, like we only pick up certain vibrations, like you were saying. And I think they are more sensitive to different types of vibrations. Which is crazy. Yeah, they say that color and everything that we see is like it's not really real. It's just how we're perceiving it, and like you're never actually really touching anything. There's always a layer of molecules between your hand and what you're grabbing.
I thought that was the craziest thing. I'm taking this science class, and he's like,
crazy.
Yeah, you never actually touch anything because the electrons what is it called? Propel or reject.
Yeah.
So it never touches. I'm like, dude, I'm feeling it. It's like, no, you're not.
How do you pick things up?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
And like that's so weird to think that our perception is literally just a way our body evolved.
Yeah, that is crazy.
To take in the world.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy that we made it to like this level of intelligence too, with like the equipment that we have. I guess we kind of started with superior brains, but it's tough to, maybe it's because we have a sort of a hive mind, and so our knowledge and our abilities are sort of like compounded onto each other. We base stuff off of each other. When you're born, like you don't start in the woods alone. You're born into,
you have more parental, whatever it's called.
You're born into like the existing human organism. We're like ants. Like we're already so far along the progression that like when you're born into it, like you no longer have to start from zero.
Because we pass down our information.
Yeah,
I really do think like the more I think and more I think about it, the more I think animals like have like, because we're animals too.
Yeah,
we always forget that.
Mm-hmm. We do.
There's something more to animals. I don't think they're as like clueless as I think we think they are. I don't know to what extent, but I really do think there's something to them. Like I think they are beings of some sort. Like I don't think they're less than us. I think they just evolved in a different way.
Yeah, I agree. I guess that sort of goes to like the argument or discussion of like what differentiates us from animals. Like, is it our like soul, like our level of consciousness? Is it our hardware? Like we have different eyes, we hear different things, but it sort of doesn't make sense that our hardware it's not better than theirs. It's worse. It's worse. But like we have this weapon in our head.
And these
bad boys.
These bad boys. So we can make stuff.
Yeah,
who would have thought? Because our thumb goes at a fucking angle, we can manipulate the world.
Dude, it's crazy. It's so crazy.
Literally because of one little thing.
Yeah.
One little change, and we could do so much with it.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, like, what other high beings would look like,
Dude, I think about... this is crazy.
Yeah.
But, like, those hieroglyphics?
Yeah.
With the dog heads and stuff?
Oh, yeah. I love to talk about
what if a dog just literally just... What if they had opposable thumbs?
Yeah.
Literally, what if they evolved in a past time to have opposable thumbs? They would be at the same point we are right now.
Yeah, we'd be screwed.
They would be at the same point because if you have this opposable thumb, they would start to learn to like walk upright, because they were talking about in the documentary thing of how we started walking upright. It was just like they don't know why we started walking upright.
Yeah. Oh, from that class?
Yeah.
I don't think they do. I think what I remember from the class is that they don't know why it started, but once it started, we started to like want to throw things. Like spears and stuff, and when we were like hunched over, like like Neanderthals are kind of like or maybe not Neanderthals, but something earlier than that. They would have trouble throwing, and we got like able to like sit up so we can like use that toss, and that's what maybe like accelerated it, because like it became such an advantage. But we really don't know. We don't know what started it.
Isn't that weird?
A lot of things like that, we don't know when it comes down to it, like the difference between I'm trying to think, like Australopithecus or something and us, like no one knows why that happened. It's a mystery. It's a missing link, and they talk about that a lot in that class.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Stand up, because they said one of the theories that I was learning from this documentary was like, well, maybe the jungle went away and it was like a Sahara desert, so they had to stand so they could walk further distances. And then they found like Artie, who was in a jungle. So it's like, oh shit, that's wrong. Like, why this guy's in a jungle? Like, why is he starting to walk upright?
Yeah. It's what's the cause and what's the effect?
Yeah, why? Like, what is the evolutionary benefit from walking upright?
Yeah. I like to think for those unknown things. I sometimes when I think about what's the different what caused us to become what we are, like sort of humans trying to pretend to be gods. I think I think a lot about like Adam and Eve and like like the apple, and I think about that a lot. Like, what is that? What is that a metaphor for? And it really sort of mirrors like what happened in our history. Like we sort of came out of like the jungle, out of the woods. We lost our fur. We began to wear clothes. We realized we were naked. And we put on clothes, and that's when our social brain and our like hive mind really started to develop, because we became like very dependent on one another to hunt and to cook. It's like we gained like knowledge. We gained something, whether like we ate a mushroom off the ground or something, and something like that.
Stoned ape theory.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's something there, like, because that thing, whatever we got, that separated us from everything else.
Yeah.
Like it really did. Like I don't know what it is, but you don't see other animals putting on clothes.
No.
Like you don't see what we do in other species.
Yeah.
So what changed?
I don't know. It's very complex. Like we have a very complex. I guess we call it society. It's like we have all these rules, all these like things that are made up that are real. They're real to us because maybe it's because we live a little bit more in our brains than other things do. Other things live more in the world, and we have sort of found maybe comfort or ability in our heads. So we start to make these like structures. Just like how your thoughts are, like we sort of mirror that onto the world. These invisible rules and like these invisible things that guide your thought. I think that we sort of try to mirror that onto society, and that's why we have laws and regulations and stuff, and they don't always work. The laws aren't always right, and they can be counterproductive.
Yeah.
Just like our own heads, just like the piece of the ship that's fallen off or is creating drag. So I think we need to treat our society like sort of like a living organism. That's what I've been thinking about a little bit.
I like that.
Yeah, it's hard though, because like how ants are very like together, like they work.
Know. Yeah, dude, they literally walk in a line.
Yeah, they share their brains, but we're not quite there yet. We still dislike each other, and we still have like huge problems.
Do you think they could communicate telepathically?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I think they communicate like pheromonally.
With their that's okay, because they can get the scent of the queen bee.
What's the difference,
right?
really, though, between?
I don't know.
I mean, it's just they're using the hardware they have to communicate. But that's really interesting.
That is.
I think humans do that a little bit too. We don't realize it. We're not just like,
do.
Oh, what's up, James? But like,
there's I forgot what the study was completely, but like the scent our musk. Like women are more attracted to like a men's musk.
Yeah.
You can get, and that's the thing, like you can get like a feel for someone, and if you like them or want to mate with them just by their smell.
Yeah, their smell. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, but you don't process it. It's all subconsciously.
Yeah, but maybe animals, other organisms like do process that a little bit more. I think we've sort of created maybe like an extension of the mind, and that's what we call like what we're aware of, our conscious, which a lot of other animals don't really have.
But do they not have them?
I don't know. I mean, they have. I don't know if they. Do you think they have a subconscious? I don't know.
I don't know what they have. But I feel like I don't think they're the mindless creatures most people like, and I used to think them as. Like I really do think there's something more.
Yeah, I don't think they're mindless either. I think it's hard because we're animals trying to understand them. I wonder if they have thoughts about like, what are these people doing? Like, why are they wearing clothes? Like people like I don't know, like they sort of turn on like people like these days people like shave their bodies and then put on clothes.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like you already had that. Like, why are you doing that?
Because we can't really hop into their heads. Like we can't think or feel what they're feeling.
I don't know if we would. When you get in your zone and like when you're playing a sport or like doing work and you're not you're not aware of your own thoughts really.
You're just acting.
Yeah, you're just acting. I wonder if that's sort of like.
Yeah.
If that's sort of how they're functioning. They're just like going with the flow of the world. Like they're in the cuddy zone like 24/7.
Yeah, exactly. I think that is what they are in, because I feel like our minds are the only thing that separates us from that zone. Because like we could that's like being present pretty much. And when you get in your zone, like you have to be present. Like you can't overthink. So, and our minds take us out of that present moment by always thinking, and rationalizing, and that's why the book the power of now always talks about, like what we said at the beginning, like
Mm-hmm.
you can't think your thoughts are you, because they're not.
Yeah.
They're just thoughts. Like the you is which I and Malidi came up with, the soul is, like, you could say Cohen's a Syracuse student.
Yeah.
He lives in New Jersey, but like that's not who you are.
Yeah,
you know,
probably some other things you could say too.
Yeah, but the you is everything you can't explain, you know, that you can't describe. That's what you are, if that makes sense. That's what I think it is, at least.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. We don't know who we are, really, and we don't know who each other are. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Because all the stuff we do is just things we do.
Yeah.
They're just actions.
Mm-hmm. And once they happen, they're done, right? And you can't change them. Yeah.
It's interesting, but it's that's where I'm like, I've been thinking, like, I don't know what are you born with? Like, what is that you? Like, how can you even define that?
Yeah.
Like,
it's not your moral compass.
Because your moral compass is, because that's another thing. It's like, are you born with, like, are some people just more just than others?
I don't know.
Or are you taught that?
I would think that it's something you learn. It's something that society tells to you. I was talking about this with someone the other night. If there are, like, base moral things, like, you know, if you kill someone, like, do you think, say someone was born and, like, they're, like, feral, right? They were, like, never taught anything, whatever. Like, they were, you know, there's sometimes people come up like that, like those people who are trapped in their parents' basement or something. Like,
yeah, that shit's fucked.
Yeah, I wonder if they have, like, feelings of, like, guilt or, like, feeling bad, or you know, because, like, they don't know what that is. They don't have anything to base that off of.
Yeah.
They don't have, like, society telling them the shoulds of what you should do. This is what you should do. These are the rules. And I think, you know, those things are good, right? They keep us from disorder. But I think, yeah, it's very interesting. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think we are born with that. I think that's something you learn.
Then what are you born with? Like, why am I different than you?
Yeah, I think, yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I think that we're all very similar. We're all the same. And it's just about, like, our experiences. But I think there is something to be said for, like, the nature part of it. Because you could raise twins and they can be completely different people. Yeah. They had mostly the same experiences, not all the same, but mostly. Pretty similar. And then one can turn out to be one way and the other one can turn out to be another way. So that seems to point to nature having something to do with it. But I just, it's so hard to tell.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I want to get to the root of. You know, like, that's why these questions, like, I feel like I do think everything has an answer. Mm-hmm. It's just finding the right steps to get there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's what I've been trying to work on. I don't know. I don't know what you are or I am.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we ever will. But it's something I want to look into.
Or maybe we already know.
I think we already do.
Yeah, I think we do too.
Yeah, I think that's another thing, like I talked about a few times. It's like, I think our wisdom, Socrates argues that, like, we have all the wisdom in the world because he thinks our souls are immortal. Mm-hmm. So if your soul is immortal, then it has all the knowledge of the world.
Yeah.
Or not even the world, everything.
Mm-hmm. The universe.
The universe. Probably even whatever is beyond the universe.
Yeah. We are the universe experiencing itself.
It's crazy to think.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. I think I agree. I think there's some, like, instinct, like archetypical knowledge. I don't know if archetype is the right word, but, like, something sort of knowledge that's that you're born with, like what we would call instinct on, like, other animals. Like, they migrate a certain place. You know, they just know. I wonder how much of that we have. You know, I wonder how much, like, sometimes you get a thought or you have a realization or epiphany and you're like, wow, like, you almost feel like that thought was, like, put into your brain from, like, maybe past experiences or something. And people in different cultures, like, act differently, you know, maybe not even if they were born, you know, someone who's like, I don't know, you could say, like, Portuguese or whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, if they were born in America, had a completely, like, I guess what you'd say normal, or maybe not normal, but, like, a very American experience. I wonder, I think you'd say that some people, they have, like, they have, like, differences ingrained into who they are, you know? I don't know, like, I guess that sounds sort of like, I don't know. Then you're saying that people are different based off their nationalities, but I guess that's sort of true. Like,
no, yeah, it's different nationalities, different cultures.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you're going to be raised different in Colombia than you are in like Kansas.
I think it's maybe not even how you're raised, but like the experiences that your ancestors experienced. Like, we're not talking about the Holocaust because that's a bummer, but like there are people who like survived that, who like they had like maybe people who bailed before it happened. You know, were anxious. They had they had maybe too much survival instinct, but it ended up benefiting them in the end. And when the people like that survive, and the people who whatever the characteristic is die, then that sort of like structure in your brain, that sort of like genetic like predisposition to doing a certain thing or acting a certain way becomes part of who they are. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that does.
I don't know that. Yeah,
it feels like it gets passed down through the genes or some way, but what this keeps popping in my head. Like, I love this thought. Like, what do you? This is kind of a little off topic, but like kind of in topic. Like, what do you think about like the soul? Like, do you think that's real?
I don't know. I think it's so hard because I think a lot of stuff like that, a lot of like metaphysical definitions, I think are tricky for me because everybody sort of has a different definition of that in their head. You know, like God or like an angel. You know, everybody has sort of a different thing that they associate with that. So it's sort of hard to talk about. You know what I mean? Because like I don't know what the soul is. I know the idea of it, but like I don't know what it really is. So it's hard to say if it exists, but
that is true.
If the soul is like referring to something that separates us from animals, which is the way
I think animals have it too, though.
Yeah, I would
say, I would describe soul as a pure energy that gives you life.
Okay.
And it makes you the you, like I said earlier, like the things that not of what you've done, but that make you the person you are.
Okay.
Like, that's what I think it is.
So,
that life, that energy, that personality.
Okay. Yeah. So the soul is malleable. It can be shaped by experiences or affected by experiences.
I think it's the thing that drives. Like, it's the GPS. Like, it's the hardware.
Mm-hmm.
That well, there's your body. Which is obviously like maybe we could think of it like with a computer.
Yeah. It's the invisible hardware.
Yeah, it's your hardware is the computer. Your body's the computer, and then the software, like say, I don't know, whatever makes the computer run.
The operating software
system, is your soul.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's actually a great way to look at it. Like, when you think about computers, I think the brain could be in the body, and all your experiences really can be thought of like that. I agree that's a very interesting way to think about it. Because computers are made. It doesn't work without the operating system.
You need it.
Yeah, you need. There's certain software. If you delete the file, the computer's done. And then there's certain software that's downloaded and deleted and stuff like that. So
you need a power source too.
Yeah.
Plug it in, get electricity coming in, just like we need food.
Yeah.
Like, you need that power too.
So the soul or consciousness is sort of your operating system.
Yeah.
And then it just depends on what you run on that operating system.
And what you do with it.
Yeah.
Because you could download a bunch of porn sites and get some fucking malware and get fucked over.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you could use it for other things. Like, you could take it in so many directions.
Yeah, you can use it for crime. You can use it to mess with people. Yeah, exactly.
But you have your operating software that allows, like, that gives you that, I don't know, want to say containment, but like a direction you'd go in. Because if you're I don't know how operating softwares work. But like, if you're designed to be like to think, I don't know, find information, like you're going to be better at that. Like, you could still do other things, I'd assume, but like you'd be the best at that. Or if you're designed to do art, like I don't know, an art software, like you're going to be better at doing art.
Yeah,
you
like
still do other things.
There are certain operating systems that excel at art software or music software or anything, like stuff like that. I definitely agree, and it would explain that metaphor sort of explains like our similarities, because operating systems have base like things that are very similar about them that they need to be functioning, and then they have different variables about them too that completely change the way they run or the things that they have their strengths. So I definitely think that's interesting, and it's that's sort of weird to think about too, because we just started like computers and we just started like deep technology, and it can it's gonna go a place that we can't even imagine right now. And it could become our reality. VR, it can become the basis of what we experience, and it could have already become that. That's what we could be experiencing right now. You could be right that our souls and our consciousness are part of an operating system.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that I think it's like true, or I wouldn't say that I think it's false, but I think when we've created our version, whatever, of computers and networks and stuff, and I think it's a little uncanny how much it mirrors like how our world acts, and sort of how humans work, and how different programs on this earth work, and organisms and stuff like that. So I guess it could be sort of a disturbing thought, or it could be sort of a freeing thought. Like you're just here for some reason that you don't know.
But do you think the computers are following nature because that's the way like things work, or do you think the computers are created nature, so that's why nature looks like? So I'm saying it's pretty much a chicken or the egg type of a thing. Like, which one came first? Like, do you think the nature came first? That's why technology, like, because obviously the world works in a certain way. Mm-hmm. If we're talking about nature came first, then computers are going to have to run on that basis because that's how the world works already.
Yeah.
Or if computers came first, then it would make, obviously, the world is going to work like that because that's what's fucking running.
That's what we know, I think it could go either way.
It really could. I have no clue. I'm hoping it's the first one.
Yeah. Well, let's just say that we know now. This in a different reality. We know that we're living in a simulation. Wherever this is all designed by some higher being or whatever. We're plugged in a little matrix cube.
Dude, that shit's terrifying.
Yeah.
That movie scared the shit.
If that happened, then if that ended up to be true, it doesn't really answer any questions, because we still don't know what the person that plugged us in was, and why they're here, and what they are, and are they in a simulation, And I know people think that it's possible that it's just a line down. We create ourselves over and over and over. We mirror what goes on in our own brains, and we put it into the real our physical world, and eventually that things that we make will become so complicated and so advanced that they have their own worlds, Yeah.
Well, I think there has to be a start, though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this couldn't be infinite.
Yeah.
Like, there need to be somewhere, if we're in a series of, like, Elon Musk's, like you're saying, these infinite simulations that keep going deeper and deeper and deeper, because each new simulation got to the point where they could make simulations, and it keeps going and going and going. But then there'd have to be a base world.
Yeah.
Like, but then what's the base worlds? Like,
what is it? Yeah. And
how to get there?
Because you need material, you need things to create that. You need building blocks.
Yeah. Something had to start it.
Yeah.
Then you'd have to think that computer must have been fucking pumping out.
Yeah.
Because it could support all this.
Yeah. It must have. Its hardware must be the size of our universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say something. I forgot what it was. I think about that. Because, like, the Big Bang, they say we started from nothing. But it's impossible. How can you start from nothing? You can't. They say that they came in, the particles came together for some reason. But those particles were out there. Where did they come from? Is it the chicken or the egg, or neither,
That's why for the Big Bang, and you sent me a clip on it, too.
Yeah.
It's like, I loved the Big Crunch theory, too.
Yeah.
Like, it makes so much sense. If the Big Bang Theory was, if we can define, because obviously it's just a theory, we don't even know if that's how it really started. But if the Big Bang Theory's right, because the universe is constantly expanding, but they think it's going to get to a certain point where it's going to go into itself. And then obviously when it all comes into itself, when all that energy finally meets together, that's what the Big Crunch is. And then I think then there would be a Big Bang because everything's coming together. Right? Like when you bring your hand, and then it spanks back out.
And
spank that ass. Just pops right back, jiggles a little bit.
Exactly. It does jiggle. I think if you're in infinite space, if you think that the universe is infinite and like and has no walls, then there is no center, right? So things are going to come out from some place.
That's true. There's
and then
no center.
Are they going to hit each other? Is it a circle? Are they all going to come around and then go back together?
Huh.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Yeah.
How is space infinite?
I don't know. But if it is infinite, then every possibility and everything that we could ever think of is real.
That is really
Because
true.
if it's an infinite, then there are infinite possibilities, then everything that you could think of. There's a universe where we're doing this right now, except like
pantless.
What'd you say?
I'm pantless.
Yeah, we're both pantless, and that's our society.
Dude, that could be.
Yeah, and then there's another one that's, I guess if the universe is infinite, then there's another version of this world where we're doing the exact same thing.
And dicks with noses.
Yeah, dicks with noses, or we're just doing this.
Yeah.
The same exact thing. And we went to Popeyes before, and everything is exactly the same.
And I got a regular chicken sandwich.
Yeah, you got
a spicy chicken sandwich.
Or everything's the same. If it's infinite, then there's infinite versions of
the
this
same exact thing
that are happening.
Dude, that's so hard to comprehend.
Yeah, I don't know if it's it's just a theory. So it's like,
do they think that the universe is infinite?
Some people do. I think it's pretty open for debate because there's no no proof either way.
Yeah, and we're not going to really find out.
Yeah, I don't think we ever will.
Well, at least maybe in our life, probably not in our lifetime.
I don't know if it's ever possible. How would we find out?
I don't think.
Maybe fire an electron or something out into space, and then if it comes back,
and it's not.
Well, then it's not.
Dude, I don't know, because I feel like, because if energy, I don't know, if energy can't, I'm thinking because nothing can be created or destroyed, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's really a really interesting thing. So, I don't know, I keep these fucking rubber bands. I'm thinking of a rubber band.
Yeah, elastic.
Yeah, and it's stretching till it gets to a certain point, and then once it reaches that, it either snaps or it comes back together and slaps.
Yeah. What would be the pulling effect? So you're saying that the universe...
What's pulling the universe? Why is it expanding?
Force, energy. That's a theory anyway. Big Bang crunched down so much that it exploded. I don't know anything about physics, but...
Because I guess if you get a bomb...
Yeah.
And it blows up, it pushes everything away from it because the force needs to go somewhere. The energy needs to go somewhere.
Yeah, it needs to go somewhere, right? Yeah, it can't be...
It's not staying still. I'm no physicist, so like I obviously I don't understand this stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that was loud. I think I don't know what I think because I don't know
either.
It's
I would love to I don't think anyone does though.
No, I don't think they do. I think different people think they know.
Yeah. That's where you get stuck.
Yeah.
Because when you think you know, fuck, you don't.
Yeah, you don't.
I really don't think anyone knows anything.
No, they don't. They think things.
You think you know things, but you really don't know.
And if you really think you know something, then you don't know.
You haven't studied it enough.
Yeah, you don't know anything. Yeah.
Even if you think you know something, you haven't looked into it enough.
Yeah, you haven't been confronted with the truth of life yet.
Yeah.
You know that not everything that you think is true, it will at one point become not true.
Fair.
Yeah,
that is so true.
Or you die before you live to see that happen. But, yeah, infinite possibilities. But yeah, that's interesting. What caused the Big Bang? Was it a?
I think it's always here. I really do think that the universe is an infinite loop of growing, crushing, growing,
Two
crushing.
people come together, something grows out. You know, that's definitely
I think that's that loop. I don't know where the symbol came from, that infinite symbol.
Yeah.
I really like it though.
I like it, yeah.
Like it's just so.
It's cool, yeah. I mean, a circle does the same thing though, sort of.
Yeah, it does kind of do the same
All
thing.
shapes that you can travel on, I guess, are infinite, but you're gonna pass where you started every time.
But I like the point. What, say again?
So every shape is infinite, right? Mm-hmm. If you keep traveling in the same way.
Yeah.
But you're gonna pass where you started.
True.
All the time. There's no shape where you're not gonna pass where you started if you trace it over and over.
Yeah.
So that could be some insight into the universe. You know, things change, things are different all the way until they're not, and then they start again.
Facts, dude. But the point that I like the infinite sign because there's that point of intersection.
Yeah.
Of just like there's one spot.
Yeah.
Like one. Is there someone behind us?
No, this is a flashing light.
Yeah. Flash. Lights. Kanye is so good.
Kanye is a genius.
But yeah, there's that one point. You could like get it down to literally just one. I don't know the word.
Point's a good word.
Point's a good word. Fuck, it's not the word I'm looking for. But whatever. One point, and it just connects two things.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could look at it. No, I'd say two. But two, I don't know. It just comes together. There's something cool about that.
Yeah. Yeah, the intersection is interesting.
Because that's the thing about black holes.
Yeah, I don't know anything about black holes.
Dude, I don't either.
Yeah, I bet you know more than me though.
It's so complicated. Like I can't even grasp it because like I'm not a physicist.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand it, but like I look, but it seems like it's the most massive thing.
Mm.
But it's
like portals.
Dude, that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean,
like it's literally the most massive object, but it's small.
Yeah.
Like they literally just made one.
Yeah, it's so dense.
Where did they make? I think it was in Israel. I want to say it was in Israel that they literally, yeah, homies.
Yeah,
they made a black hole.
Yeah, Israel's always messing around with shit like that.
Yeah.
You should be careful with that. But
Dude, that thing could literally crush us.
Yeah, they should chill out.
If there's a black hole, like an actual black hole
I think
next
it's been
to the
done
world,
before, right? The Hadron Collider or something.
Yeah,
that might be the wrong thing.
I don't know, something they made it. But like, if you actually had a black hole next to the Earth, there's a really cool graphic I saw. It would really just fucking set the world on fire and then just.
Yo.
It's crazy.
It's
look
crazy.
That up. It's actually nuts.
They occur from like an immense density, right? Like when things get so dense. Is that it?
Dude, I think they could also appear too, just like out of the blue. That could be cap. Can you look that up? Sure.
They appear when like.
Here, come speak in my mic.
So they appear when stars, like it's like the end of a star's life cycle, that like nuclear fusion, it starts to collapse on the core, and then the core just gets so dense that it just starts sucking everything in. That's why it's black. It sucks in light.
Wow.
Sounds like Hooker from before.
Yeah.
Dude, that's interesting. It collapses on itself. Sounds like something we were just talking about.
Yeah. Everything. But what?
The universe.
Universe does.
Collapse on itself.
Collapse and expand.
Yeah.
I think nuclear energy, or whatever, is something that we should consider a lot.
Nuclear, just,
I don't know what the word would be, radiation, just the fact that that's a truth, a physical truth of our universe that occurs.
Yeah, dude, I just had a weird thought. What if, like, we'll go back to the nuclear fusion, but I just want to say this out before I forget.
Yeah, go ahead. Definitely.
What if the black holes, because it's like a star condensing, and you know how it's so massive and so dense. What if, like, that collapsion creates, like, a new universe inside, and that's why it's so dense? You know? Like, wouldn't that...
White hole is.
Yeah, the white hole's on the other side of it.
White hole is a theory that So the white hole theory, it's like it's an opposite side. So like the creation of a black hole, it simultaneously creates a portal white hole that, in theory, if you go into a black hole, you pop out a white hole.
Do they think that you could survive that? Like
you get spaghettified if you go through a black hole.
Do you?
Yeah, your body can't withstand it.
Can your soul, though?
I think so, because if it's pure energy, I think it would be able to survive. And if your soul can't, this is another thing. Your soul, I don't think it's divisible, so it can't be broken.
Yeah.
Like, it can't be separated. It can't be flicked. So I do think it could go through a black hole.
Can your soul be defined by space, physical space, where it is? So if it's in a black hole, but it won't change. You're saying it won't change at all. Can it be transported? You know, can it be?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like, I thought, like, because I was thinking, like, well, if their souls are real, how do we have a growing population? And then I thought, what if, okay, if the universe is huge, infinite, why does my soul just have to be on Earth? Why can't I be on Uranus?
Yeah.
Or in Uranus? So many.
Well, I can tell you why you can't be there.
That's my no square. But like, why can't I be in a universe millions of miles, jillions, kabillions miles away? Why?
Yeah.
Why am I contained just
maybe
to
you
here?
could. Maybe because your soul is in your physical body. Maybe. So I was talking to someone, my friend Danelle, the other day, about sort of that same. We were talking about simulation or whatever. That's sort of like a hot word when you say simulation. People are like, oh, okay, but like, I guess to say not base reality. What if like our souls, what we call our souls and our consciousness, is like the higher form of our being, or we're a higher form. And that's what we are. Right? You know, we're not contained in a physical world, and you know, maybe we did something wrong, or we're in a prison.
Dude.
You know, like they've trapped our soul into a prison for wrongdoing, and that's why our world is so chaotic. But we know what it should be, but we just can't. You know, because
makes sense. It's like our own purgatory.
Yeah.
But I think about that.
We
too.
came here to
It's
learn
like,
a lesson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if I always play around with the idea that, and it still kind of sticks with me. Like, what if like you're right? When you die, you keep coming back until you figure the fuck out.
Oh.
You know, if you're a shitty person, like, and you do wrong, like, see ya, send you back.
Yeah.
But until you can reach the point of goodness.
Yeah.
Of like just and rationality, that's when you could like go to heaven or whatever the next phase or wherever peace is.
That would be really unfair.
Would it though?
Yeah, because we only know what good and evil is to ourselves, and that hasn't always been constant. It hasn't always been the same. So to put people into this world and to decide what's good and evil, that's innately human, good and evil.
I think you're right for that. Saying that it is human, we give names to good and evil.
Yeah.
But I think there is a natural law of things.
Yeah.
You know, I do think there's like a nature of what is just and unjust, but I can't define it.
So would you say like maybe like destruction is bad and creation is good?
Not even that. I think my limited, like, because it does take a lot, and it could be, I think when you harm another person or another being in any way, I think that's bad or unjust. And I think things that are filled with love and like have the intent of love in it, that's what makes things just. And things that don't have that, I think, are unjust.
Okay, so it's about intent.
Yeah, for me, I think.
Well, I mean, love is something that most humans can experience. I guess maybe like 0.001 psychopaths can't, but that would be something that's innately something you're born with, and the nature part of who we are. And that could be sort of a sign, sort of a reminder of what we need to do here. Yeah, I think so, definitely.
I'm not sure though. That is a tricky thing. If we are, it is an interesting. Do you watch the Midnight Gospel?
I did watch the Midnight Gospel.
It's like the episode with the soul prison, with the guys attached to the string with the bird.
I did. Yeah, that one was a crazy one.
Whoever hasn't watched Midnight Gospel, freaking watch it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
Good.
You gotta watch it.
It's like, I don't know if it's for everyone because like it's such crazy graphics but like
if you're under 35, you should watch it.
Yeah, if you're under 35.
If you're over 35, not saying you shouldn't watch it, but you just might not enjoy it.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I feel like it's so well done.
It is well done. Yeah.
So well. Duncan Trussell, beast.
Oh, Duncan Trussell's a
so
genius.
Good.
He's so good.
And it was the animation was done by the Adventure Time guy.
Oh yeah, what's that guy's name?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
But he's awesome. I love Adventure Time too.
Yeah, I love the characters. His animations are great.
So
they
good.
fit perfectly.
They do. You got to find those artists. But it's like that Soul Bird. That I got to watch it again. That show's so good.
You're talking about the one where he's tethered to the it's the good wimpy guy versus the ignorant guy who's just trying to escape.
Yeah.
And every time he tries to escape,
he like kills someone or
every time he tries to escape, he gets killed, and the good guy suffers.
Yeah. Well, his bird, like the bird was like his soul.
Yeah.
I don't remember about the good guy. It was just like I forgot because Duncan or I forgot what the character's name was. How did I forget the character's name?
Yeah, I did too. Because it's
a purple guy.
Yeah, what's the main character's name in Midnight Gospel?
Look it up faster,
dude.
shit, what was it? He's purple.
Yeah.
He's gonna say it. I'm gonna forget.
Yeah, it's
Clancy. Fuck.
Yeah, fuck that. Dude. I knew that.
Yeah, we did know that.
Fucking Clancy.
What's his last name?
Gilroy.
Gilroy. Clancy
Gilroy.
So Clancy was attached in his soul thing, and he was talking to his soul bird, the prisoners who didn't have his tongue, and the prisoner, he was trying to escape the prison, and he would like kill people, and every time he would die, like he would go to the judgment with the eye things looking at him,
and every time something new would be added to the judgment.
They'd pluck his feather off, and then he'd learn each time, like, okay, maybe I won't kill this guy, like I'll back up and I'll protect, but he'll hurt someone else, and then the judgment people cry, and then they pick the feather of the bird, and that implies that like you get a certain amount of times.
Yes. And I think a really important part of that is the guy who's tethered to him. The guy, he feels the pain of dying, but the other guy suffers.
Yeah, the bird.
He's attached to the pink guy, right? It's the pink guy, and then the
pink guy, Clancy's like wrapped in his soul just because like he's interviewing the podcast.
I thought other than Clancy, there was like a green guy and then a pink guy.
The pink guy was his cellmate, I think.
Yeah, and they had a soul tether. I thought it was supposed to.
I thought he was attached. I'm pretty sure the green. It was actually a girl too.
Yeah, it was a girl.
Because then you find at the end. Yeah. Because she sang. She got her tongue back.
Yeah.
And she had such a beautiful voice.
So beautiful.
So beautiful. But like his soul, I guess, was the bird, and it kept getting. That goes back to like Egyptian times.
Yeah, it was very Egyptian. Yeah.
Like measuring the feather to see, because they put it on the weight.
See if his sacrifice was enough. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they measured the bird's feather against his heart.
Yeah.
And his heart at the beginning was like a dog like barking. And it was all cut up.
Yeah.
And then like
every time he was killed, he learned more, and he felt the pain of his actions. Yes.
I really do think that's true, and I think that's what like I think I don't want to just falsely identify, but I think Buddhists think that way too.
I think it was about Buddhism.
Yeah.
It was the interconnectedness of pain was what the episode was about, which is like a Buddhist a network of pain. You know, when someone is hurt, everyone feels it.
Yeah.
I don't know the details of it, but I really love that episode.
It is really.
It was disturbing, but
no, it is.
It was.
It makes you feel uncomfortable.
Telling. Yeah, it does make you feel uncomfortable. Yeah, I think it's on purpose.
It is.
Yeah.
I think so, and that's why it was so well done.
If you don't feel uncomfortable, then it's not really worth it. You're not growing.
Exactly. People don't like to feel uncomfortable though, because people like to feel comfortable. Yeah. They don't like to change. They don't like to feel the unknown, because like it's scary. Yeah. But, like we need it.
Yeah. If it's worth it, then it's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing is.
Yeah.
But I like the interconnectedness plane.
Yeah.
Because I really do think that everyone is one. Like the whole thing, because if this Big Bang thing is real and the Big Crunch is real, that means at a certain point in time, all the energy of the universe was in one spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it just expanded. And I do think it's like the strings of a net. Like Duncan does a great job of explaining it in the show.
Yeah.
In one of the episodes, like it's a net. And each of us are nodes on that net, like points of intersection, at the intersection points.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't matter how far you are in that net, you're still connected.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to be a good person, because we're literally all the same.
Yeah.
So when I hurt you, I'm just hurting myself, because we are, like you said earlier, we're the universe experiencing itself from. How do you say it?
Yeah, it's just the universe. We're the universe experiencing itself. You know, everything that we are is the building blocks of the universe. Yeah.
So we are.
Yeah.
Like we literally are the universe experiencing itself. So I'm just a different perspective of it than you are.
Yeah, you're a different node on the.
I'm a different node.
But we're all still part of the net.
So why would I try to cut that net or stab that net or hurt a different part of it when it's literally just you?
Because then every time you cut a piece of the net or you take out a node, the whole hole opens up. You know.
Yeah, you're just fucking with it.
Yeah, we become less. We work worse as an organism, as a hive mind, you know, it doesn't work as well. Yeah, that's really interesting.
Can't catch any fish when there's a fucking hole in there.
Exactly, yeah, especially when there's fucking 18 holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I really do think, like, even that's what connects us with nature and all of the stuff animals
Mm-hmm.
I hate when I say animals because we're animals too.
Yeah.
But
people know what you mean.
Other creatures.
Yeah.
Critters. My
Critters.
teacher loves critters. He always calls them critters.
That's such a professor thing.
I know. At first, I thought he was making a joke, but every time he refers to animals, he says critters.
Critters.
And I'm like, this guy's the man.
Yeah.
But I do think we're all connected in that certain way. But it's weird to think we have different perspectives on things, and it does feel like we're one. Like I'm not. It doesn't. Like it feels like it's just me.
Yeah, right.
So
it does.
I think that's why it makes it difficult for people to grasp.
Yeah, definitely. But I think almost subconsciously, or maybe something it's not convenient to think about, so we don't. But I agree that everything that you do, or someone else does, comes back to them in some form or another. And it sort of takes away like the the temptation for revenge or vengeance or something, because when you do that, like you're the only one that feels hate for someone else. If you hate somebody, they don't feel it.
Yeah.
Only you feel it. Yeah. So hating people or wanting to attack somebody or hurt somebody in some way, at least in my experience, like that always comes back. Yeah. Like you will pay for that. It's not your job to balance the universe.
It's not. It'll balance itself out.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
We see that a lot too.
Yeah, that's something I think we all need to learn, and it's something it's so hard to learn because it sort of goes against our gut reactions.
Yeah. You hurt me, I want to hurt you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I feel bad. Well, if we both feel bad, then it's balanced again.
Yeah.
But in reality, well, maybe not for everybody, but for me, and I'm sure most people, good people, if you hurt somebody, even if they deserved it, like, it's probably going to hurt you too. Yeah. It hurts who you are, even if it doesn't hurt you emotionally. It changes, who the person you are. Your actions define you, unfortunately. So when you do that, it might feel good to you, but sometimes what feels good to you is not what's good, and it's not what other people want to see.
I think it feels pleasurable.
Yeah.
Like that's a big thing I'm learning in like these philosophy classes. Like they separate pleasure, which is like from like eating a lot, like
gluttony,
like all this stuff is pleasurable. Like sex is pleasurable, but it's not good. You know? I mean, like there's cases for pleasurable things to be good.
Yeah.
But these things that are pleasurable, they more described as short-term rewards. Like drugs are a good thing for that. They're short-term pleasures. Yeah. It's like getting on a Ferris wheel. Like it's a ride. It's not the end goal.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a good for every I think we all should aim for being content, maybe not happy, maybe not sad. Every time that you spike over here, it's going to come back.
Dude, it's like the waves. Do you take math classes? What are those? Fuck.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. I don't either.
Math.
That's why I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I wish I was good at math.
Yeah, math's cool. Math is the language of the world, I think.
Yeah, it is. I would agree. I mean, we did make it, but
we discovered it.
I don't know. Did we?
I think we did. I think we really did discover, because math, this plus that is always 2.
Yeah.
Like, we just gave them symbols. The math is always there.
I guess it's always 2, but what if it was something else?
I guess you could say there's a bunch of molecules in here, but this entire entity and that entire entity together are 2.
Yeah, okay. I'd actually, I don't know if I'd agree, but I understand that. Like, yeah, it's hard to find the words to explain it outside of like math, like 1, 2, 3, because that's what we know it as. But like definitely,
like
you have 2
give
things.
It different names. Yeah. This 2 could be said as like Kajidalu.
Yeah,
that could be our number 2.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I just thought of? You know what I just thought of? Is that if something truly is added to another thing, then shouldn't it always just be 1?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean, right? If you add.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if you're adding it to it.
Yeah. Or it is 2, and then 1 is really only the smallest building block of the universe.
Dude, is there a smallest building block of the universe? We keep finding smaller ones.
Yeah, I guess there's not. I guess they used to think it was the atom.
And then they looked.
The electron,
and then they found something smaller, and
they
looked into it more, and there's something smaller.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee if we kept looking, there's going to be something smaller.
Yeah, but there is what makes up the proton, what makes up the electron.
What makes it up.
Yeah, what makes up the thing that make it up.
So then is there really a 1?
I don't know. I guess not. Yeah. Maybe we don't want to be one with the universe. We want to be infinite with the universe. That was just so horseshit what I just said.
No, but it kind of makes, like, I kind of got a picture in my head. Like, I'm thinking of big scale and then going smaller and then smaller and then smaller, like a infinite, like a kaleidoscope. Is that what they are? When you look, and it just keeps making different refractions and stuff. Like, honestly, that could be us. Like, we're just one layer in a Pringles can of different layers. Yeah. You know?
Have you ever watched, I'm sure have you ever seen Men in Black?
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is, but I remember at the end of one, like it zooms out from the Earth and like it zooms out from our galaxy in our universe, and then we're a ball in an alien's hand and he's juggling us.
Could be, honestly.
I love that.
It's like Horton Hears a Who.
Yeah.
Even though Dr. Seuss is canceled now, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Let's not talk about that. Yeah. But that's crazy. I mean, Horton Hears a Who is real. You know, on this thing, there's a million structures of bacteria and organisms everywhere you look.
Yeah. Even small, like that's why. People? I think like, what if the world could just be an atom?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be, right? We don't know really what an atom is, so.
Yeah, like, but we could be a smaller one.
Yeah.
Like, what if we're just our entire universe is literally just a speck.
Yeah.
Just another thing.
The Earth seems so random, though, doesn't it? Like, there's nothing perfect about it. You know, like the shape of it isn't perfect.
Dude, it's not even like, it's so, oh my gosh. I don't understand it.
It seems so randomized.
It is. Because we're really just a chunk. I think, how was the Earth created? They think it was just like,
it was a chunk of
something hit something.
Yeah, a chunk of something
came, and then we just started spinning and forming.
Yeah, we joined the orbit of our solar system. Yeah.
It's weird how there's only one thing in each orbit system. You know, like one big thing.
What do you mean?
Like, you know how there's Earth?
Yeah.
There's Mars, Earth. Each one, there's rings, like certain rings that go around the sun. Like, why isn't there like two Marses in its ring? Like one on one side and one on the other. Why is there only one?
I think it has something to do with their mass. So the sun has a continuous, everything that has mass has orbit, has pole. So it has a continuous level of pole and orbit, and then depending on the density. Actually, that can't be true, because it doesn't go biggest to largest or largest to smallest from the sun, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
No.
But
I don't know. I don't know.
Does it go by density?
I'm not sure. Can you look up density?
Is the solar system?
Because I know. I think there's gas giants.
Gas planets. Yeah.
Jupiter? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Jupiter's a gas giant, and that's a big motherfucker. So I'm assuming gas is less dense than.
Yeah. Speaking of gas giants, you should install a fart mic.
The fart mic?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's like a mic that comes down, so like when you have to fart, you just fart into the mic.
Down.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah. I try.
It doesn't go by density.
It doesn't go by density. Dude, the order's
What
weird.
is it? What does it go by then? Yeah, that's a great question.
Does it go by anything? No. Can you look up why there's not multiple planets in the same orbit? Too.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know.
Well. Yeah.
Because it is
I feel
weird.
like that's something that they should look into.
Right?
I feel like maybe that would give us some insight into things.
And I think it's also, I didn't even know till like break that we're falling.
We're falling?
Yeah. Like.
So there's gravity in.
We're going like, dude, I think gravity's fucking fake news. Whatever.
Dude, what?
I can explain it a little bit. Like, but they're finding more.
We don't need gravity. We don't.
I'm saying gravity's the term I think is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because gravity is just, I think it's all mass and attraction and pull. And
it is. But that's just the word for gravity.
Oh, fine. The gravity's real.
Yeah, gravity's real, but probably not the definition. The definition of gravity is probably not complete.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Like,
I don't know. I just, this whole gravity thing,
yeah.
I really just think, I guess this could be defined like, I think massive objects have pull to smaller objects.
Yeah.
So is that what gravity is?
Well, it's not always true. In a vacuum, I think.
Well, vacuums
is that
are
true?
real.
Vacuums are real. Not like a vacuum, but like a vacuum, like a space.
But there's something in there.
Yeah, but I don't.
Technically, like outside the atmosphere, it is a vacuum.
Yeah, it's a vacuum.
But what isn't there dark matter?
A vacuum is a place where there's a lack of things, and things are being pulled in. I think, right?
But there has to be. So you're telling me there's nothing in that vacuum?
Yeah.
Nothing.
I guess no, there's not. I mean, maybe there are air particles.
So that's something.
Yeah, but I don't know if there are. I don't know.
Can
Maybe
you look up a vacuum?
I don't think a vacuum that you make on Earth, like in science class, is a perfect vacuum.
It has something.
But it's not a perfect vacuum.
I don't think you can make a perfect vacuum.
I think yeah.
Because I'm thinking of a vacuum. I could be so
Maybe
wrong.
a black
I don't know.
hole is
I'm just wondering.
Oh yeah, we should preface this by saying
I have no fucking
I don't
clue.
know what the fuck. Yeah.
So in
Speaking of the mic. Speaking of the fart mic.
Fart mic.
Fart boys.
So in space, so technically it's a vacuum in space once you reach out the atmosphere.
Technically.
So there's not as soon as you break the atmosphere, that's nothingness. But by your definition, Earth is something in that vacuum. So there is something in
But it's sort of outside the vacuum, right? Because it has an atmosphere.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Earth isn't a vacuum. Once you break atmosphere, that's a vacuum.
Okay.
That's nothing's there. No
So
air.
there's nothing at all.
No, but take that to a bigger scale of the universe, stars, planets, all that. That's in the vacuum.
Yeah.
So
I think.
I that's still. So I still don't buy that shit at all.
Yeah.
You're telling me outside this atmosphere, there's nothing? Nothing.
I think things can exist within the vacuum, but they have their own.
Can something exist in nothing, though?
I think when we have an atmosphere, it separates us from the vacuum. So so your esophagus is technically outside of your body, even though it's within your body. It runs completely separate to your entire body.
What?
Yeah.
Say how?
Maybe it's not your esophagus, but there's a tube. Your mouth is. It's a cavity, right? It's not inside your body, under your skin is in your muscles. That's your body, but a tube the whatever your asshole and stuff that's a tube within your body. That it's encased within this mold, but it has no outside connection. It has no connection with your body. It's tube.
I'm confused.
I didn't come up with that. Someone told me that on a podcast. I learned that on a podcast. Yeah, so it's so it's in your body, right? It's it's in your body a lead is in a pencil.
Yeah.
But they're two different things.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like the lead.
Yeah, that was good enough.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I don't get the asshole one.
Right off the dome. Well, it's true. It's if it was a part of your body, if it was integrated into your body, you'd have sepsis because it would contaminate your body. It's
It's a lot of poo.
Yeah, right. It would be all up in your shit.
Yeah.
Your shit would be all up in your shit.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm butchering that explanation. That it's
whatever.
outside your body, but
this is what's getting me caught up for the universe thing.
yeah.
Let's forget about this vacuum shit. I think if we can answer this, then we can answer that. Can something abide in nothing?
I know what you mean by that, but it's hard. It's a hard question to answer. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
How? I don't think it can, because if it is truly nothing, then it's an absence of something.
And then that's something.
No, then nothing, because if nothing is truly nothing, then nothing is emptiness, complete, utter nothing.
Well, everything that's not something is nothing.
No.
Yeah.
It's just, because I don't know, but when I say nothing, I don't even think it's
You mean
real.
an absence of things?
Not even an absence of things, just an absence of everything.
Yeah, an absence of molecules, atoms.
Yeah.
The block building matter. An absence of matter.
An absence of matter.
Yeah, but I think that does exist.
Is light matter too?
Light is it matter?
Is
Is it photons?
Lights matter? Yeah, it is photons.
Yeah. I don't know if photons.
I don't know either.
Is it, or is it a vibration?
No, it's photons. Because then darkness is just a lack of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think Elon said that.
Yeah.
I saw
Shout
a
out
cool
Elon.
quote. He
Elon
was
knows
like,
what he's talking
I
about.
used to be scared of the dark, but then I figured out. It was like he was 6. He's like, then I figured out it's just the dark is a lack of photons.
He sounds like
and I'm not going to
Bane.
be scared of a lack of photons.
He sounds like Bane. I was born in the darkness. Yeah, that's what that sounds like.
Yeah. I don't know though. Space.
It's
and
such a hard
darkness.
question.
It is.
Every question that's answered just leads to more questions.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like the answer to figuring out this burning question that we all have, or some of us have, of, you know, what's the reason, what are we doing here, what's what. Sometimes I feel like it's not answering it is answering it, you know, and trying to pursue the answers it's impossible.
Yeah, I think it's infinite. I really do.
Yeah,
I don't think you're ever gonna get there.
I think it's
kind of fun to figure.
But I think it's kind of nice, right? Because everything is. If the universe is infinite, then there are no rules. There are there's nothing. Nothing is what we think it is. If the universe is infinite possibilities, which means that there's something influencing everything, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if we're ever gonna figure this out.
Maybe when we die.
I don't think I do. If we figured it out, if it is.
I don't know, though. I think that puts a lot of pressure, though.
Because our body, it does put a lot of pressure, but I think at the end of the day, like, we should really just try to be good people.
Yeah.
Like,
well, if heaven is the place you go when you figure it out, then count me out, because that sounds lonely as fuck, because nobody fucking has ever figured it out.
No, yeah. I don't know if that's, like, the way, but I do think when you die, at least in this plane, because this is another thing. If, like we said, if nothing can be created or destroyed, then death, like your soul, is still there. Your body, your life force just leaves you.
Yeah, it just depends how you characterize, like, our consciousness, or, like, if you think you have a soul that's independent of your body, which personally I don't know if I believe that. I'm not saying I don't believe it, but I certainly don't believe it. I wouldn't say that. I think that's something that's true. I think the transfer of energy that happens when you die is that your body deteriorates and becomes energy. It goes into the ground. You know, it energy transfers. The energy of your brain goes out.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. The energy of your brain goes out. You know, your electrons stop firing. You dissolve. But I don't think necessarily your soul is independent of your physical body. And I think that sounds sort of scary. It's like, oh, when we die, there's nothing. Oh, that's sort of scary. You know, we'll be trapped in blackness. But really, what it is, it's nirvana, sort of. You know, that's what, like, a lot of religions think is nirvana, paradise. It's like the absence of consciousness. You know, you don't have to think about things anymore. You don't have to think about that. There's nothing. It's just, you're just done. You know.
Just are.
Yeah, you're just not.
Or not.
Yeah.
So what do you think about near-death experiences then?
I think near-death experiences are caused by a release of chemicals in your brain. I'm not saying they're meaningless, but I think they can explain that. You know, they can explain why that happens.
But there's, like, I watched this documentary on them.
Yeah.
I think it's called Death on Netflix. The first episode's crazy. The other ones I watched the second one. It was about, like, the spiritual world. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, some bullshit.
But I'm like, okay, you had me in the start.
Yeah, that's how they hook you in.
Yeah, like, exactly. But the first one, they are giving, like, there's millions of these near-death experiences, and one that I like to use a lot is this lady was going in for a brain surgery. She had, like, an aneurysm in her head or something.
Yeah.
So they cut off everything to her brain, so she was dead for 15 minutes.
Wow, for 15 minutes?
Yeah, it's crazy. It was like a crazy...
They must have been feeding her brain with blood or something.
I don't know what they did.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But they literally... She was dead.
Yeah.
15 minutes.
She was brain dead.
Because they had to operate in some way.
They probably kept her heart beating and her lungs pumping.
I don't know what they did.
They did, yeah.
But it was like... This was, like, the first time. This is, like, the only thing that could save her. Yeah. It was, like, revolution. Like, they never did this shit before.
Yeah. Wait, she was having an aneurysm?
I think.
I mean, that makes sense. You can catch an aneurysm before you die, yeah.
Yeah. So they were performing on it. Or maybe it was a blood clot. I don't know.
Same thing.
But they cut the brain off, so she was pronounced dead.
Okay.
Dead. For 15 minutes. They were doing the surgery. She survived. Yay.
Yay.
Happy.
Woo.
But she said she was out of her body and she saw them performing surgery on her. She described the tools they were using to a T, which she wouldn't have known, and who was using them.
Wow.
Like, you can't and you have this type of thing everywhere, like in different circumstances. This one lady, it was in this bit like this biblical thing I was reading or watching documentary, and she had a similar thing.
Yeah.
Obviously not surgery, but she died.
An out-of-body experience.
A near-death experience.
Yeah.
She goes out of her body, and everyone says the same thing. They feel like they go through a tunnel, and they feel this warmth and love.
Yeah.
And she saw a fucking shoe on a roof on the other side, and she came back to her body. Was like, I saw a fucking shoe on the roof, and they went and checked. There was a shoe on the roof. Another lady died in Peru or whitewater rafting.
Yeah.
Snapped her spine. Like, she was in the water for 10 minutes. Her friends gave up looking to save her and started looking to find her body.
Yeah.
This lady goes into wherever her whatever soul or whatever
the ether,
whatever it is, and she talks with someone, and they're like, your son's gonna die at 18.
Oh, brutal,
right? She comes back, she's like, I hope that's not true. Like, but lo and behold, the kid turns 18. Done.
I mean,
like, all the shit
could be coincidence.
It could be, but then you get all these,
I mean, the shoe thing and the tool thing is pretty fucking wild.
That's crazy, but you get these experiences like in so many cases. It's like at a certain point, when do we start saying, hey, there's something here?
Yeah. They say that feeling of like love and like being somewhere that you recognize or feeling like you're at home. People say that that's something you feel when you take DMT, which is the chemical that's released in your brain when you die.
Isn't it released too when you dream?
I'm not sure. I think
up?
so.
Look if DMT is released when you dream. I think a little bit is, because
yeah. But I did a Knowles trip, hiking trip. I've probably told you the story before, but I'll just tell it again. I did a hiking trip, and one of the leaders was a Navy SEAL. Have I told you this before?
Yeah.
He was a Navy SEAL. And
the short guy, right?
Yeah, he was a short guy. He actually wasn't a Navy SEAL. He was in Navy SEAL training. He had a pretty sad story.
It is released when you dream.
Oh, cool. Weird.
It's like the most minute amount.
Yeah.
Wonder if you could trigger that.
That's what.
It'd be crazy. But anyway, this guy, he had sort of a traumatic experience with his father, I think, because he was looking for answers. Sort of like we are. He was a little bit more going down a certain path, but he said that when in SEAL training the first time, he fractured his femur, and they wouldn't let him continue. Because fracturing your femur can be deadly, it can kill you.
Yeah. That just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, cuts off your artery, and then you just bleed out in like 30 seconds. But anyway, he filled out the first. This guy's like 5'3", by the way. And they call that classification like of size. That's how they do it in Navy SEAL training. They call those people are the Smurfs.
I love how they called them the Smurfs.
Yeah, so it's pretty mean.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But I guess that sort of went to his head, right? Because people are, oh, you're so short, you're not going to be able to make it, you know? So I think he was thinking about that a lot. So he went back to SEAL training, and he passed the place where he was, where he broke his femur, which he was carrying boats.
Oh, dude, that shit's brutal.
Yeah, he didn't stop either when he broke it. He kept going, and they were like, "Dude, like you have to go." Yeah. He was like, "Fuck." So he passed that place, and then he was going. I think he was kind of close to the end of his training. He was doing like a test. He had to pass, or he was out. And he was tying knots underwater. And there's a certain feeling you get when everybody's had it, when you get trapped underwater, or you go to the deep end and you take a little time to get up. Yeah. And that feeling is caused by not a lack of oxygen, but by a saturation of carbon dioxide or dioxide in your blood. And that feeling can be sort of trained out of you. Like it can go away. It's not hypoxia. It might be called hypoxia. I think hypoxia might be something else, but people who have that much experience, he didn't have that reaction when he was underwater. And this guy was so determined to become a SEAL for like family reasons. He was a military family. And I'm not going to say his name, but he's an interesting guy. Probably because kind of a personal story, but he told a bunch of people, so it's not like but he said he was tying knots, and all of a sudden he started to feel a little weird, but he was like, there's no way I'm going up, like I'm not going up. And then he saw like Smurfs like walking in circles in his vision, and then he blacked out, and he said that he went on like a DMT trip. He didn't tell me too much about it because I think it was very personal. I think he saw some very personal things. And he woke up with shit in his pants on the side of the pool, and they were like, "You died." He was like, "Okay, wow."
He shit his pants too.
Yeah, he shit his pants. Like, he completely was like dead. And he had, since after that point, he knew what happened. He knew there was DMT released in his brain. He wanted to go back, and he wanted to like maybe get some closure or experience that again. Sort of, I think, you know, he felt something powerful, and he felt he was drawn back to it. And so after our hiking trip, his plan was he was going to Brazil to do like an ayahuasca like thing, where he was just going to go out for like, I don't know how long, probably 8 weeks or something, and do like ayahuasca trips.
Is that DMT?
Yeah, it's a fruit that has DMT and then maybe I think a couple other hallucinogenic properties. And he said, yeah, he was gonna do that. I haven't talked to him since. I should probably contact him. But I think he might have done it before too, and so that's why he knew that it was DMT. Yeah.
I think that's interesting.
It's really interesting. He didn't say anything about out of body experience or anything, but he didn't say too much. I think it was a very personal experience. He didn't really want to share too much, but yeah, I found that very, just to hear it from someone's mouth who like really went through that. It felt like it was wild. It was wild that he experienced that. And that story really stayed with me for some reason. Yeah, but he was a great guy too. Yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. I don't know if he had any out of body experience or any contact with God. I know a lot of people have that sort of thing where they're like, oh, I felt God's love or something. Yeah, so I think about that a lot, about like what that is.
It's weird how DMT is released during dreams.
And why is it released when you die too? Like,
and
why?
People say that when they take it, it feels like you're sober. It feels like more of a reality than we're in right now.
Wow, yeah.
Which is that's weird.
It feels more right. I mean, it's weird. It's also drugs fuck with your mind. They fuck with your mind. I mean, all the drugs that you take that make you feel something, it's not like some of them are like acid attaches to your brain, takes the place of a receptor, and that's why you feel weird.
But the DMT fills a receptor that's already there.
Yeah, exactly. But
that's the weird part. That it's already a part of you.
But most drugs you take, they impact your brain to do something that it can already do, but in a different way. You know.
True.
You release more serotonin, or you release more dopamine, or something I guess can act like a dopamine, not receptor, dopamine plug-in, and that's it takes advantage of the hardware that you already have. It's not adding something, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, that does. What do you think about this though? This is all this stuff is anecdotal.
Yeah.
So you can't, which sucks.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But like, there's another one this one just blew me away. Mm-hmm. This guy doing DMT, and he does it like frequently. I don't know.
Psychopath.
What?
Psychopath.
Yeah, dude. If you're doing like that kind of shit.
Well, actually, I don't know. I mean, I've never done it, but I mean, if
done it either.
That seems like something.
Yeah, but he's tripping, and he meets like this blue woman in this place.
Whoa.
And
sounds dope already.
Blue, yeah. Yeah, right? Doesn't that? I would love to meet a blue lady.
Yeah.
That treats me fine. And they have that soul connection that they knew each other. Okay. So after the first time, he's like, oh shit, that was kind of dope. I'm going to go back in. So like the next time he went in, he found her again. They started getting to know each other, and they had that soul connection. They had a relationship, and they're like connected, whatever. They like,
whoa.
So they have this. And then his buddy tries DMT for the first time.
Yeah.
He goes in, and he comes out, and he's like, yo, dude, there's like this blue lady asking for you. Like, do you know who this is? And the guy was like, dude, what? Like, he didn't tell anything about this blue lady because like, dude, you're telling your friend like, hey, I have a relationship with a blue girl in another dimension.
Yeah, when you say relationship, what do you mean? Like,
I think it was like their souls like have connected.
Okay.
I don't know fucking know.
Yeah, that'd be torture. You fell in love with that woman.
Yeah.
That'd be.
But she's like, that's the thing with the souls. Like, if they are a thing, like you could be in different things and meet different souls, and then you could catch up. Because like I feel like, have you ever met someone in life where you just feel like you're connected?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, someone you meet for the first time and you're like, do I know you? Like,
yeah, it's like,
are you my brother or something? Are you my sister? And like, you know, like,
we felt that.
Yeah.
And I do think I wouldn't be surprised if you did, like in a past time. Like I really would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Because where else would that feeling come from?
I agree. I think there's something. I think that's definitely true. You get along with certain people for no reason, even people that you don't really like some of their actions, but you still like them. You know, you still feel connected with them.
It's like a recognition.
Yeah, it's something
but you
unsaid.
don't know where.
Yeah.
From.
Yeah, that's crazy. That the blue woman story. I mean,
like that's weird.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand it.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, that's crazy. I know. Yeah, I'd love to talk to someone who's done it before and just get a good idea.
Get a sense of their head.
I don't even know if I've ever even met somebody that's done it, but it's so crazy. It's something that like you could do tonight if you wanted to, but like you know, like I wouldn't.
I don't think I want to do TMT.
No, I don't think
just
I do.
Get
either.
rocked for like 2 minutes.
I wonder if people ever get like fucked up from it, like if they're
probably. I mean, people get fucked up from like Advil.
Yeah.
You know, like. People have different reactions,
but not in the same way, you know. Like if your like brain gets fucked, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like rewired. That's what they always try to do.
If you have a
traumatic
with
acid.
Experience. Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of. I think. Yeah, but like, I would think that there's some like when you have an experience like that, like it sort of changes who you are.
I agree.
Whether it's a good way or a bad way, but I think there's a lot of like potential for disaster there. But I think it wouldn't really be worth doing it if there wasn't. Right?
Yeah, because it takes you like psychedelics. I think are really cool.
Yeah,
like I think they're very interesting because they're a drug that makes people feel love.
Yeah,
like that.
They can. They can make you feel like the opposite though too.
But they oneness. Like what other drug? Like alcohol doesn't make you feel like everything's connected and everything is one.
It can.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Never drank enough for that.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not the same way, but like you could feel very connected to someone or like.
Yeah, that's fair.
Euphoria.
Yeah. Euphoria. You know that song?
No.
That's Mac Miller.
Oh yeah, I do know that song. That's not really how it goes though.
Yeah, no, I'm not a good singer. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's something interesting there.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's
it's sort of unexplainable, you know, that definitely there's a sort of a connection.
I think it's weird how like tribes like this hibiscus thing, like it's a part of these old spiritual religions and stuff like that.
Yeah, it sort of makes sense though.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody eats that and they're like, "Oh, shit.
Wow. This is something I haven't done before."
Yeah.
Yeah. But like because I think even like Jesus used cannabis.
Did he?
In his look this up.
Whoa.
In his in the the ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Oh, the incense.
Yeah, the incense. I'm pretty sure they found like cannabis remains in them. So
well, that explains a lot.
Right?
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that's right though. It is.
Jesus was almost certain a cannabis user, and specifically oils.
Oh, so he was really getting.
Oh yeah, he was using dabs.
Yeah, he was using dabs. Hey, yo, Judas, hit this shit.
Yo, dude, this shit dang.
Judas was like, nah, dude, and Jesus was like, this guy's gonna fuck me over.
Yeah, I don't trust him.
Yeah, I do not trust that guy.
He used oils to perform miracles.
Used oils to perform miracles.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Stick out your tongue. Now I'm gonna walk on water.
Yes. Dude, it was just ice. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's something cool about religion too. I don't know what it is. I think it's very. I like the word interesting because a lot of things interest me.
It is interesting.
How it is that all these different cultures around the world have some form of religion.
I think people who, I'm not saying people who are atheists or whatever, agnostic, people who don't believe in it, like that's completely makes sense. Frankly, makes sense that people wouldn't believe in it.
Yeah.
But I think people who completely discount it, they're like, just fuck that, you know, like I don't need to pay attention to that. Like, I guess you don't need to pay attention to it, but it's these are writings from people who lived a long time ago, and they're here, and they attempt to explain things. So I mean, I think you have to give them some attention. You have to, I guess, if you're not interested in it at all, then I mean, I think maybe you're looking in the wrong place, or I don't know. I think they have something that is important. I think I'm not saying it's important to be religious, but I think it's important to be aware. And I think if you have an interest in studying religions, it's awesome. You know, you don't need to be religious, but I think they're awesome to study. I've been very interested in reading some of this stuff. I don't necessarily believe in God. I don't not believe in God, but I think a lot of that stuff is really crazy. A lot of it's really interesting, and it's sensitive to talk about with some people. Some people are really, which I understand. I mean, when you feel a connection to God or something like that, you know, it's something that's very sensitive and personal. But I think they're worth reading and they're worth considering from your own viewpoint. Yeah. Like, I think it's a powerful thing.
What have you been looking into recently?
So I'm taking a class on religion, and when I was younger, I used to get doses of Judaism, Christianity, and I guess when I was younger, I never really realized. You know, you go to church when you're young, and you think you know what everything's about. You go to church, you go to temple, you know what it's about. But I think until you get your adult brain on it, and you can look at it from your perspective.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah, fuck that. It's fine. Is it fine?
Yeah, it's fine. It's probably just a notification on my computer.
Oh, word. Yeah. Once you get your adult perspective on it and your adult brain, your real understanding brain on it, I think there's a lot of stuff that's super interesting, very captivating. I know in this class so far we've been reading a lot of the Old Testament, which I connect with. Just 'cause I've had a lot of my dad read that stuff to me a lot when I was younger.
Bedtime stories?
No, not bedtime stories. No, we would go on the weekends and he would read that stuff to me sometimes.
Yeah.
And I guess when you're young and someone's reading it to you, you're not very you're just like, oh, that's cool, sick. But yeah,
that guy saw a naked lady on the porch and came and told her come over, and then killed her husband in the battlefield.
God was like, dude. Cool. Yeah, dude. God was like,
dude,
I'm gonna kill your son. Yeah. But
and curse your entire family for generations to come.
Yeah. Well, he actually went pretty light on David. He liked him a lot. But
he was so good for so long.
Yeah. I treat that as more of a history of what took place, because it really is. It's I think it's history from mythical, not mythical as in fake, but mythical as in I don't know. It's
movie-fied.
Yeah, or religious history from a religious perspective. You know, a lot of the failures and successes of the people were whether they did what God wanted to, or if they broke his rules, his commandments, his covenants, and sometimes specific rules he would tell certain people. And God isn't I used to think that he was supposed to be all knowing and all good and all chill, and he always knows what's right. And I mean, I guess that it doesn't say that's not true, but he really fucks over people a lot for no reason. But when you're reading it and you sort of see it from he was making examples for people to follow. If you believe it, I don't know if I'd really do, but whoever wrote it was writing these stories to translate it to people who were reading it in the future, saying, they did this or they didn't do this, and then God let them do this or he didn't. And certain people suffered for no reason, and certain people deserved it, and they're all lessons. They're all things that relate to your life, even though they're talking about warring nations or something.
The false, how he turned the river to blood.
Yeah.
Or made frogs fall from the sky in Egypt, and did these 7 things, but it was all because they worshipped these Egyptian gods, the false idols.
Yeah.
And then they were punished for praising and worshiping false idols.
A lot of people definitely. That came later, when Moses, after
they came
Moses,
over.
Yeah, when Moses went up to the mountain, they fucked over God. But yeah, it's crazy. That story, I don't think a lot of people know this, but that story, how he wanted them to, the 7 plagues, he wanted the Egyptians to let them go every time.
Yeah.
It's actually not true. God knew, and he made the Pharaoh keep them there.
Really?
Because he wanted to stunt. He wanted to be he wanted to be don't ever fuck with me. And then like he knew that.
Fuck with you.
Yeah, he knew.
You shit my
He
superpower.
knew, I'm gonna kill your youngest born.
Yeah.
And like he knew that shit was happening.
Only if you don't eat. Was it
Passover.
They put lamb outside of their door or
Yeah,
something?
lamb's
They
blood
eat
on
lamb.
the lamb's blood on the. Yeah.
I think that's very lamb.
Yeah,
lamb was an interesting choice.
I think it was also the youngest born lamb too. And you have to do a bunch of other stuff too on Passover.
Because lamb is like, I mean, if we look at it from Christianity, it's Jesus.
Yeah, I think they're very
it's the
related.
Lamb of God.
Huh. Yeah.
I think that's why the book I was reading, or I just finished. Yeah, finally. The father who keeps promises.
Yeah.
It looks at the Old Testament from the eyes of now,
Yeah.
but also with what happens in the New Testament. Because like, if you're a storyteller, some TV, radio, and film, like when you write a movie or a TV show or anything, you know what the ending. If you want to be good, you need to know where you're going.
Yeah.
You need to know the ending to write the beginning.
Yeah.
And you write foreshadowing stuff
Definitely.
to the next. So
Yeah.
like the Lamb of God, and they like point out, this is what happened here. Yeah. This relates to the New Testament when this happened
Definitely,
here.
Yeah.
It was like, oh shit.
I think that
makes
connection is
sense.
really interesting because like a lot of Jewish people don't think that, they sort of discount that the New Testament
Why is it a lamb? Why
is
it a
related.
goat?
It's related at all, to the Old Testament. But I think you sort of see a theme like from the beginning to the end of the Old Testament where God like he sort of like realizes that like what he's doing is like not going to work. Yeah. That like the punishing for like one person's actions of the whole like group of people like isn't going to work. And then I think some people would argue that he transitions. His heart sort of like softens as the New Testament begins. He realizes that like forgiving human sin, like that's what humans are. We sin.
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
Comes down, forgives us for our sins, and the whole thing. We always say it in church every single time. It's like, don't let my heart harden.
Yeah, I hope I don't sound like a religious nut. Like I'm not at all. But
yeah,
I just find those stories really interesting, even if it's not real at all. Like I just think they're good like parables.
But they found like Jesus's remains.
They really?
Yeah, he's real. They like found.
Well,
Jesus
they know he's
a real person.
They know
I'm pretty
real.
sure they found. Dude, this is another thing that blows my mind because even sometimes when I doubt, like, because obviously I doubt.
Yeah, everybody does. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, then what about the Eucharist that literally turned to flesh?
What do you mean?
In Spain, look this up. Or is it true that they found Jesus' remains?
They never find Jesus' body, but they found someone named Yehoman. It's like a Jewish name. I think he would do something big that they thought was relatively basically the same person.
Okay, so they found someone that they think could have been.
Yeah.
But look this up. I know this is real.
I think even the Jews acknowledge that he was real.
Yeah.
They don't think that should happen, but they're like, yeah, he was real. They actually think he was a good dude too.
He probably was.
I mean, yeah,
he got a pretty good name for himself.
Yeah, he was
Son of God.
He was a chiller, yeah, until.
But the Eucharist in Spain or wherever,
yeah,
literally on the altar.
What is the Eucharist?
It's the crackers that represents the
How
body
dare
of Christ.
you call me that?
What?
I said, how dare you call me a cracker? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, but it's the body of Christ. That's what it represents.
Like,
it doesn't represent. It is.
Okay.
Christians believe it is the body of Christ. And in Spain or somewhere, where is it? It literally turned to flesh.
Yeah, and it was in like some like it was like this like remote village, and it was in this like it was in this place, and they said it was described as resulting in flesh-like properties.
I would like to see a camera shot of that.
They did DNA. No, there's witnesses. They got it. They DNA tested it.
Yeah, but couldn't they have just taken flesh from somebody?
Dude, there's the story. Like, look up the story after this.
Yeah.
Like, it's legit.
I'm gonna check it out. That sounds crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I feel like if God was
how would that happen?
If some divine entity was trying to tell us like what was up though, like giving us hints, like why wouldn't he just like write a note in the sky and be like, "What's up?" Like.
That's the thing. That's I think about that too. It's like I still don't think we learn.
Yeah.
We
definitely wouldn't.
We wouldn't.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't.
The only way we learn, sometimes it's like by going through it ourselves.
Yeah.
Like if I told you the key of happiness, no, even this, eating healthy and working out.
Yeah.
People know.
Those are keys to happiness.
Yeah.
Not
and
total.
people don't do it.
Yeah.
Like people just don't do it.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, but we have some things, like we have to learn for ourselves.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you'd think he would be able to do something though.
But I
think split the sky in half.
I don't know. I think
maybe I sometimes I get worried that like maybe like he is trying to, you know, like all throughout both both Judea and Christian religions, he like talks to individuals and then they like give his word, but like that would never happen anymore. You know, if someone says like they're connected to God or something, like you're just like, that person's fucking crazy.
Then maybe he knows that. Yeah. And maybe he shifted now. Maybe he doesn't say that anymore. Yeah. And now he just uses us as his instruments. Like, I really do think like that flow state, that Cuddy zone you're talking about.
Cuddy zone.
Like, I do think that's like a divine state. Like, that's a part where you're not thinking anymore. Mm-hmm. You're just, like, for me, it's like when I talk. Like, I get in that zone. Yeah. Like, I don't think anymore. It just comes out.
Yeah, and you can't get into it if you're thinking about it.
Exactly. Yeah. And now I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of getting out of it.
Yeah. But sort of happens by accident.
Yeah. But that, when someone plays an instrument, they get in it, play sports. Like, I really do think that's God sent.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a connection with something else that's not earthly. If that makes sense.
I agree. I mean, I agree. It's
because there's even that Kanye line. It's in a Kanye song. It's in Jesus Walks.
Yeah. That song's been playing in my head this like whole time.
Gets me so hyped.
Yeah, I love
that song. It's probably one of my favorite songs.
It's a great one.
Like, but I forgot who the other guy who's on the verse, whose verse it is. But he's like, "It is not me, it's he." Oh fuck! I want to get off the lyrics now. It's so good. I would play it, but I don't want to get copyrighted.
Sounds like they got his pronouns wrong.
Yeah. Jesus walks. It is not me. It's he. Because it's such a beautiful line. Like, he's talking about how it's not him rapping. It's dude, why can't I find the fucking lyrics? It's not him. Like, it's not him who's coming out. Dude.
Like Kanye's like channeling God or something?
Yeah, but it's not Kanye. It's why Jesus walks. Fuck. Lyrics. Dead air. Love it.
He's saying that like his actions are the actions of God.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, here it is. People are coming.
It's fine. Just look like we belong.
Yeah, look like we have masks on that we don't. Oh. All right. The moment records won't get played. Dude, I don't know if I'm gonna find it. Nothing I could do now to right my wrongs. Whatever. He says it's not me, it's he, and then goes into it pretty much saying that it's God. And everyone who hasn't heard Jesus Walks.
Oh, you gotta listen to it.
Listen to it.
Listen to every Kanye album.
That doesn't get you hype as fuck.
Yeah.
And like, just listen to the words.
Listen to the music. Yeah. Kanye's just killing it. Every time he hops in the studio. Yeah. Murdering it.
Do you think he's going to drop a new album after this divorce?
Yes, and it's going to be fire.
You think he's going to be on his pills or no?
Doubtful.
But like, I was listening to the Joe Rogan episode with him on.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know that happened.
Oh, it was awesome. It was so good.
That made a really cool sound.
Did it?
Yeah, it was like
Yoshi. But I think after I watched the Kanye full interview with Rogan, I always thought he was just crazy. Mm-hmm. But that's because we see snippets of him.
Yeah.
His mind works like a symphony.
Yeah.
It literally, you have to hear everything he has to say, and then it will all make sense. Like, if you take the beginning, it won't make sense. You take the middle, you take the end, it won't make sense. The only way it makes sense is if you have all the pieces. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
And all together, they make something. And that's how his music works, too.
Yeah.
They all work together to create this one thing.
Yeah, I think that's true for, like, I think that's true for a lot of people. People like to just take one thing or two things that you said or one action in your life or something like that and make that who you are.
Yeah.
But I think it's so important to, like, realize that, like, you need to look at someone or hear someone's, like, full what they have to say to be able to judge them or anything. You know. Then I think
I don't even think, like, we shouldn't even judge. Like, who the fuck are we to judge?
Yeah, it's not our right to judge. Yeah, God's supposed to judge, right?
Yeah. Or whatever the fuck, we can't. We're just mortals. We fuck up too. Like, that's what I hate. All this cancel culture shit and all this, like, I'm better than you. Yeah. You're wrong. I'm like, yo, look at yourself in the fucking mirror.
Exactly.
Like, really.
All these people who cancel people and then a year later they're the ones being canceled. Yeah. It's because nobody's perfect.
No one's perfect.
And
nobody's perfect.
To cancel someone else or to discount another person as a whole person just shows the ignorance of the canceler. It's like you're so confident in what you know and your beliefs and that you have everything right, and that you're so confident that you think you have the right to destroy someone just because you disagree with them. It's like,
it's naive.
Yeah, it's naive. Sometimes people should pay for what they say, because you need to be held accountable sometimes. But all this like canceling, all this dehumanizing of people,
it's mob mentality too.
It's not the right way to go. Sometimes people deserve repercussions, but they don't. You shouldn't destroy. You shouldn't want to destroy someone.
And the mob, I really don't think the mob is ever the right answer.
No, it's never the right answer.
People will pay in the way it will come today.
Yeah, exactly. Today.
Yeah. But this mob mentality is dangerous in every aspect.
Yeah, and it never does anything.
In any regard, the mob is. I don't want to say never right, but
it's a slippery slope.
The mob's not right.
It's a slippery slope.
'Cause it's full of emotion.
Yeah.
And emotion. Hurley, our friend, was saying it so well the other day. He's like, when you're making decisions, like you have to think of it rationally. Like, our emotions get in the way a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah,
like,
you can't rely on your emotions to tell you what's right. Yeah.
Our emotions. I forgot what it was. It was so good though. It was like our emotions like amplify our feelings and our. Damn it, I forgot what it was.
Just what you said there makes sense to me. Your emotions amplify your thoughts, and they change your thoughts, and they make them different things. But I'm so against that. Destroying people. It's an attack. It's an attack because when you're doing that to someone, you know they're losing their job, their income, they can't feed their family, et cetera, et cetera. It's just, it's no good.
Yeah,
it's no good.
We have to find love and compassion for one another. Instead of breaking down, we should like support.
Yeah.
And try to understand why they said the things they did.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, most of the time, it comes down to education at the end of the day.
I agree.
Like,
and it comes down to a good worldview and not just thinking that your experience is gospel.
Yeah. Not being connected to your thoughts.
Yeah.
Being able to think you're like the ship.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, honestly.
Sometimes those people have a very intact ship, but it's a warship. You know, it's not. It's nothing good. You know.
You're just trying to break down others.
Yeah, exactly. Your whole forward movement in your life is you're just aiming your ship at other people.
Yeah.
To try to destroy theirs.
That's fucked.
And people with warships are never really complete.
No.
Because, I mean,
maybe
they're complete, but they're not. Their ship isn't real. You know, it's built by ignorance
and hate.
Yeah.
Hate sucks.
Yeah, hate does suck.
Doesn't help anything.
Hate sucks.
Like, hate literally helps nothing.
Yeah.
Like, if I can't even think of a scenario where hate is good.
It never is never good. Never.
Even when hate tries to fight hate, I still don't think that's good.
No. Like I said before, if you hate someone, they don't feel it. You feel it.
It's only you.
Yeah, you feel it.
It's a pain. It's a burden on your shoulders.
Yeah, it is. And unless sometimes people try to alleviate their hate by vengeance or revenge, and then that's gonna pay off in its own way. You know.
Yeah. You always get fucked.
Yeah, you always get fucked, or maybe you don't get fucked, but you could.
Because if we do think the soul's immortal, then eventually,
it
comes back.
It will come back.
It does. That's why I like the you could run, but you can't hide.
Yeah, exactly.
You could always try to run from like all the shit in your past, or all this stuff. Try to avoid it, but like eventually, it's going to catch up.
It's going to catch up with you, and if you're a good person, you'll feel it.
Yeah.
And if you're not, then hey man, good for you, I guess. You know. But yeah, I mean, people who destroy other people's lives, that'll come back.
Yeah, I saw a cool thing. It's like, if you don't want to fight your demons now, like, you'll fight them all before you die.
Yeah.
And there'll be more. Like the Scott Pilgrim's versus the World. You ever watch that movie?
Yeah.
You know, the one time where that girl comes down like out of the bushes, she's like, "Hello, Scott. I'm here to fight you."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I can't deal with you right now." And she's like, "Oh, okay." But then she came back with another one. Then he had to fight 2.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was 3 because I think they're twins.
Yeah.
So it was 3 of them. But that movie's so good.
It's a great movie.
Because it's the 7 Deadly Sins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I haven't seen the movie in so long. I have to watch that again.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's an awesome movie. It has cool action scenes, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really good.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Unfortunately, it's a weird time.
We are in a weird time.
It's all right. It's a better time than most other times.
Yeah, we have like toilets and showers.
We got toilets. You can go outside.
Air conditioning.
Go outside. You're not gonna get picked up by a pterodactyl.
Yeah. Dude, pterodactyl.
If I got picked up by a pterodactyl, though, I'd be like worth it. You know.
Yeah. I'm flying.
Holy shit.
Oh, and then you get your guts ripped apart by its babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least, dude. I wonder what it was like back then. Do you think dinosaurs had feathers?
Well, I think some of them did, yeah. You mean like T-Rex or something? Like, yeah, maybe, yeah. That would be cool. That'd be cool.
Dude, it would look
You'd
like
think they'd be able to find that out.
chicken.
Yeah, it would. Imagine how scary that would be, though.
That would terrify
a massive chicken with just like huge
I'm scared
teeth.
of chickens by themselves.
I don't like chickens either.
Those things are fucking weird.
Yeah, they fly up and they go down with their claws.
And there's gobblers.
Yeah.
Ball sack hanging from their beak. Yeah, they're weird motherfuckers.
Yeah. They're also annoying as hell in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roosters
if I lived on a farm, we would be killing the chickens.
Facts.
Yeah.
And just slaughter them.
We would open up that door and just let the coyotes in.
Yeah. Just let them in.
Yeah.
Oh, this brings me back to the beginning.
Yeah.
What separates us from animals? I think it's the ability, and I think there's philosophers in the past that think the same thing. It's like what separates us is we have the ability to be rational.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can separate what's good or bad. That coyote doesn't know when it kills that chicken that's bad.
I agree with that 100%.
But we do.
Yeah.
We know if we kill a chicken, we kill a cow, like we're killing something.
Yeah.
We can make that discernment.
Consciousness is necessary for good and bad. When a tiger kills a gazelle, you don't think the tiger is evil. You know?
Yeah, it's just nature.
Yeah, but it does what it needs to do. But
so
when a human eats an animal, you know,
it's murder.
It's murder. Yeah, meat is murder. You know,
because I think that's maybe what the Adam and Eve apple is.
Yeah,
it's consciousness.
It's consciousness. It's awareness of your awareness. You know?
Yeah, being aware.
Yeah.
Damn, I think that's a nice place though to end.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this was awesome.
I really enjoyed you coming on, Cohen. It was a long time waiting. I wanted to get you on at home, but COVID.
Hell yeah! Thanks, man. I appreciate you inviting me. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Peace.